Serious space, serious comfort, and no-nonsense design that is perfect for a couple, owner-operator, for a real big adventure. Say, circumnavigate Australia is kind of what I'm thinking. We've got twin shaft drive C18 cats. We have a hull that'll be very happy at 11 knots, but she will also go over 20 knots should you need to run fast, and she's solid glass, really quiet, comfortable and smooth. 4 staterooms, a hell of a lot of toilets, and wait until you see the crew cabin. It's like a freaking apartment. It's actually awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Endurance 68 by Hampton Yachts. My name's Dan Jones, welcome to Dan's Boat Life. We're going to be doing a very detailed tour in this video. If you like the look of this boat and you want to come for a sea trial where we check the fuel burn, where it's kind of windy out there, we had sort of up to a little bit over 30 knots at times. That's what we're doing in the next video, and you are very welcome to join us for that. So starting up here on the Flybridge, we have an immense amount of space. So I'm just going to go this way first and then I'm going to take you back. But yeah, this is the entertainment station. We have a massive Aussie style barbecue. We've got gas, we've got water, we have storage, more storage, a sink just here, real marble, not Korean. We have a fridge and ice maker just underneath here. And from this part of the boat forward, it's all flat deck except for the one step we're on or under solid bimini sun protection. So we've got an immense amount of shade. It's full beam. Yes, you could enclose this with clears, and you can even option this boat as an enclosed flybridge. But for this part of the world, I love this layout because we're keeping the center of mass a little bit lower, and we still have the option to come up here and drive on a nice day. But we've got a pilot house downstairs, and to be fair, it's winter, it was cold today, so it was great having the option to drive from down there. So, chart storage on both starboard and port side of the Flybridge. Deep storage underneath here. I actually stowed the cushions. There's some beautiful cushions for the lounge, but the wind was so strong I didn't want to lose that in the drink. You can just take command from this helm by pressing this button here, and then you've got 33 horsepower hydraulic thrusters on bow and stern. Plenty powerful. We use that in the next video, but we've got all the controls you need to run the boat. We've got twin multifunctional displays just here. You've got your CAT engine diagnostics. We've got our autopilot, your engine starts, your rudder angle indicator, the bow and stern thruster, your Humphrey interceptors, which are useful for those higher speeds. Then we've got a Garmin repeater just here, spotlight, anchor operation, fusion, that's stereo, and VHF phone charging. There are really high quality covers that go over this area and also the seats. Not too many covers, it's pretty no nonsense. There's just a few for the bow, a couple at the back, and then a couple up here, and they're Australian quality, so they will last a long time. Beautiful timber wheel, and you can see we have the 2 helm chairs. We've got the captain's chair and the navigator's chair here. A little bit of adjustment and good amount of elevation and a comfortable place to be. Got opening hatches above our heads just here. If you did enclose this area with clears, that's where that would be useful. Storage underneath the seats. I don't know what's under here, so we've got to just have a, oh, it's locked. Could be a drop-down TV, not too sure. Okay, I think it is a TV. Beautiful big marble table here and a very pleasant L-shaped lounge. This will drop down manually, so I suspect we can turn this into a day bed, and we've got down lights overhead all around. So if this is an evening dining spot, you can utilize all these down lights. You can see what you're doing, and obviously I'm sure you can take the boat if you want, but it's nice, particularly for this part of the world, with the sun and the bird poo and all that sort of stuff. It's just GRP, so it's no nonsense. We've got storage in here, which is actually one of the ladders to get up on top of the bimini, or the roof just up here. We've got some aft floodlights, and just look at this space. Look how, it's a freaking dance floor. Obviously it has been designed for you to stow a serious tender. I think we have about 750 kg capacity on this, and I assume we deploy over the starboard side. We've got access walking forward even on this side of the Flybridge. There's a a lot of space all the way around. So if you needed to do something out here, totally possible. This is good, solid stainless steel. So everyone's going to feel secure when they're walking around the boat. But we've got multiple gen sets, a lot of redundancy, even some triple redundancy in places. But we have active fin stabilization on this boat. The radar, the horn, the aerials, the navigation lights are all up on top of there, and you'll see that with the drone pics that we've done for you today. But there's actually a hatch which just slides, and we have two options to get up on the Flybridge. So we can go down the internal stairs. We'll do that later. It's a lovely internal timber stairs. But come with me now, and we'll just go straight down to the swim platform, because it's massive. The size on this thing is very noticeable. This section is a hydraulic drop-down swim platform to lower toys or just for swimming. You can see we've got the slots to allow the air and the water to pass through. You can secure, this is obviously if you didn't have this optional extend platforms, you could secure fenders there, but you could also possibly hang them across the side there too. I'd say these rails will also fit in that location should you need, but an immense amount of space. And I'm sure if you wanted to mount a second tender in this location, it would be doable. This is access into the apartment, which is also a crew quarters. It's amazing. We're going to do that at the end of the video. But just to point out a couple of details, this actually flips up to hide your shore power cable. The shore power retracts underneath the stair just there. These are your main cleats just here. We've got storage. We've got wash down, freshwater shower and raw and freshwater in here. We've got courtesy lights dotted around, and then we have a sensible amount of teak, beautifully done with the lighter caulking, in an area of the boat which is protected mostly from the sun, can be enclosed with clears. It's going to be less work, because I seriously think if you are looking for a liveaboard, something to circumnavigate Australia, do the east or west coast of America, you name it, if you've got a serious boating in mind, then this thing's going to be fantastic for you. This is a lovely location to spend the afternoon. So we've got a beautiful big fixed table here. That's a nice touch. Good amount of recline. We also have protection from the wind via two closing perspex doors on either side. I'll just show you on the starboard side, opening side doors, starboard and port. I've left this open because we have dual wing stations. So we're twin C18 straight shafts, 5 blade propellers, and we can drive from upstairs, from downstairs, port or starboard, and we can also operate the thrusters, and you see you got your engine start stop just there. This is the door that I was referring to. Same again on the other side. We also have deep storage in here. I'd say that's possibly for another ladder in there. And then this is cool. We actually have a day head on deck. I love that. That's great. A proper day head at the back of the boat, out of the way, so you can come in and out of the water, wet, dirty. You got storage, nice little vanity, window, air conditioning, towel rack, so it's super convenient. I think that's great. And then you just put your little toe on the stopper, and there she goes. We've got storage in here, which is perfectly suited for everyone to stow their shoes and their thongs. That's basically what I believe it's been designed for. A nice amount of overhead lighting again. I think we'll see if there's a lock. I'd say there's another TV. Boom, boom, there you go. All you cricket lovers, you can sit back here and enjoy the summer cricket. That's awesome. Aft-facing camera and more courtesy lights in the blue, so it's going to be a nice touch. And I even see some ventilation, which I assume would be opening back into the crew space aft, just underneath that seat there. And we've also got some 240 or 110 volt, depending on what part of the world you are in. So come on inside. We've got a cherry interior, so you're going to see beautiful cherry and quite a bit of marble as well. But basically, this is proper liveaboard stuff. So this L-shaped lounge is massive. 2 people could sleep on this in the middle of the day if you needed. But this table just here, whilst she looks like a fixed coffee table, she's actually not. So there's a winder hidden in there, and the thing will move. So that's great. So if you wanted to use it as a dining table, you've got the option. We've got a nice amount. I've got a bit of a hangout. So I'm not sure if they're recliner chairs. Don't know. If you know, jump in the comments. I don't think they are. So we've got some drawers, we've got some 240, we've got some 12-volt sockets there as well. Air conditioning, we have blinds, air conditioning from overhead. We've also got the big flush speakers on the rooftop, and this is a nice touch in the middle, which sort of frames the whole saloon. Obviously, it's got some mood lighting and the down lighting as well. But then this is a bit of a drink station, but she's also an entertainment station because we've got pop-up flat screen TV, sound bar just there, deep storage, and some electronics for your sound systems in there. This is a wine cooler as well. And if you look aft, that is actually the stairs down to the crew space. We're going to come back to that because I want to keep moving forward and take you guys through to the pilot house and down to the accommodation as well. But come forward. So basically all you do is go up those two stairs. This is all flat, plenty of space. So if you are a big bloke, you're going to feel comfortable on this boat. There's heaps of beam, heaps of height. This just feels like a kitchen that people would have at home. You do feel like you're at home in this part of the boat. And we were running around, I'm not joking, we had 25 knots on the beam, quite a bit of fetch had built up at that stage. So ordinarily on a lot of boats, particularly if you've come from sailing, if you've come from a lighter power boat and then you jump on this thing, it just feels like you're still in a house. It's just bashing through those waves. You wouldn't notice anything. You could be making lunch here. You could have hot coffee on the cabin on the bench top here, and you're not going to spill anything, even in the conditions that we had today. So it was pretty impressive. So this is all marble, twin sinks just here. Does that? Yes, it does pull out. But you actually have. I thought this was a stove, but it's actually a dishwasher. So this is a stove, and this is a stove. So this is a 4-burner. Obviously off the genset, but we've also got the extraction fan overhead, storage everywhere, drawers. We're not wasting any space. These corner pieces, that's going to require quite a bit of workmanship to get those curves. That's kind of nice. Same again up here. Big, this is an American style fridge. You've got the ice thing and the water thing just in there. More storage along here. An immense amount of storage over here. I like having these down lights as well, so you could just set that as you need. Power points dotted around, both 12 volt, and we've got the 240, so you can plug in your milkshake machines and all that sort of stuff. And then we've got more storage underneath the stairs in that location, and these were the stairs that go up to the Flybridge, and they have got some grip and you've got somewhere to hold on to, but the boat just doesn't rock around. Like this thing is rock solid, so not too much to worry about in terms of a safety perspective, but everywhere you go, there's something to hold on to. So now that's one option to get out, obviously, onto the deck. We have another one over there, which we're going to get to in a second. Before we do, we have a breakfast bar, and I like this simple design. A sailor's thought of this. Look at these holes in the timber, just there. How cool is that? So just obviously there's like rubber on the bottom of these bar stools. But this is your breakfast spot in the morning. 3 people can hang out here. What's for breakfast, Mum? I think it's great. So, and then that just tucks away, and it ain't going nowhere because we tested it, and I saw no movement. So that was great. A little bit of storage just there, and then we have more storage, probably more suitable to games, I would say, underneath this table. But under the floor, we have lots of drawers. As you can see, perfect for some extra safety gear. Same again there, same again there. So just having some of those items next to the helm is a good idea. And then this is a bit tight just here. You've got more space on that side. This is good for on passage. This is why I like this layout for Australia, because the weather changes here and it's nice to be out of the sun and full protection. Even doing 16 knots, the bow doesn't raise so much that you can't see. So you've got really good viz from this helm. And as a passenger, you're also going to be enjoying the ride because, again, the boat Some powerboats, when you want to get up and boogie, they really sort of drive around like that, and you can't see so much over the bow, and maybe that's like less enjoyable. But this one, kept her attitude to the waves reasonably level at most speeds, and we saw a little bit of bow raise at the higher speeds, but nothing that ruins your line of sight. More blinds that pop down there. I can see sort of mood lights and lots of nice touches with the curved timber. It's real boaty, it's real yachty. Like there's no sharp edges that you're going to clip yourself on in a seaway and do some damage, which is sensible, because I think you should be taking a boat like this in a seaway. Underneath the underwater profile consists of a bit of a keel. So she's a proper trawler style. We've got 2 straight shafts, 5 blade props, and the running gear is protected by the keel, but you also have active fin stabilisation. So I'll just take you through this helm. We've got 3, probably the biggest size, multifunctional, flat screen, touch displays on this console, but I suspect you might even be able to squeeze 4 in here. Obviously you'd have to move these instruments at either end, but starting at the left, I would say that's bilge alarms and high water alarms, and then we've got the 3 displays. We've got fuel and holding tank and charging over there on starboard. Then down on this part of the panel, we've got VHF, engine diagnostics port, autopilot, engine diagnostics starboard, another VHF, or yes it is, lights, Onan. So we have 2 gen sets on this. So we have a 27 kVA, I think it was, and a 17.5 kVA. So a main gen set and then a night gen set. Then this probably looks like water maker. This is the rudder angle indicator. We have a forward-looking sonar, kind of handy in whales and that sort of stuff. Fusion, Fireboy, road counter for the chain, operate the chain here. The wiper control with multiple speed settings and freshwater wash. This is your spotlight. This is your hump free. So these are your interceptors. They're on the back of the boat. So they're in this location, and then these stabilizers are in the middle of the boat, and right now we have them on 0 speed. So now they are operating like this to stop the boat rocking, but when you are underway, you change the setting and they operate in a different way to stop the boat from rocking whilst you're underway. Key starts for the motors, variable speed, hydraulic bow and stern thrusters, 33 horsepower each. They're the upgraded ones. We tested it with 20 knots on the bow and it frickin' held it. So it's good, works good. Throttles, really ergonomic. You can drive in single lever mode if you wish, and that is the control of the stabilization. And we still have a compass where you'd expect it, because it's a proper boat, this one. Big, thick pillars. Don't really see any issue in terms of visibility. You should expect this on a style of boat like this. And remember, we're doing 11 knots, we're not doing 40, so closing speeds of possible dangers are not that bad. The helm chairs are nice and comfortable. We've got a bit of adjustment, and I do like the footrest, but also gives you, I'll just sit in it, gives you the possibility to stand up. So if you wanted to increase your height, you can stand up. They're nice and strong, but really, if you're just eating up the miles and you're on autopilot, this is going to be a comfortable location just to stand your watch. So that's great. Let's go out this door. Just before I do, we've got some 12 volt and 240 switches, air conditioning, your primary battery bank or battery switches to turn on at the beginning of the day are down in the crew quarters. So we'll have a look at that at the end. These doors work good. So it's just boom, 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 and this is super strong. Some of these doors can be fiddly on some boats because when you put pressure away from the hinges, they can be a little bit funky and they don't work the way you want them to, but this thing just is built like brick shit house. So, excuse the salt, we've been driving the boat properly, so you'll expect that. Plenty of storage, deep storage. I actually put multiple fenders, I put lots of fenders in there, but you got deep, deep storage all the way across here, more there and there. There is some little gates to just look handsome, but they do actually stop water coming on board, so that will, for when you're underway. And these seats have got some covers over them, so you don't have to muck around by moving the cushions. So don't worry about that. And see just here, whoops. So if you are taking a big wave on board, the water's gonna evacuate from there. So you're not gonna load this area up with too much weight, because you might, if you're in really big seas, you might fill this area up with some water and you want it to go that way, not that way. So this is an escape hatch for the VIP, but ventilation as well. The anchor setup, as you can see, dual bow roller. So big, solid, stainless steel. We've got 100 meters of chain, and we've got an 88 kilogram stainless steel anchor on this one. And look at that, that's like ship stuff. So that's big, solid. These are actually just shallow storage bins on either side. And I mean, look at that, love it, good to see. Obviously, these are the bow cleats. That's for securing the boat. So when you see some of the smaller cleats dotted around, they will be for hanging fenders, because you want to secure this one on the big ones. Let's come out, I'll go around this way. So obviously, forward, or from midships forward on this particular boat, we don't have teak. For Australia, this is wonderful. So we've just gone teak from there aft. I better just double check. Engine ventilation is happening from here. I'm not sure what's in here. Oh, okay, diesel in. All right, so we've got 8,000 litres of diesel, and I think that was in 2 tanks. And so we're gonna have a diesel in on port and on starboard, and I can feel the warm air here. So this is venting the engine room. I'm assuming we'd have the same again on the other side. Water, just here, I think it was 1,500 of water, and holding was like 750. So this, I did actually test this earlier. There is enough space to pass by. So that's another thing you have to watch, even on boats of this length. Many of these doors will, when you open them, it'll stop transit forward and aft. And that could be a little bit of a drama, I think, if you are an owner-operator, because you need to move forward and aft, because it's probably just you and your missus driving this thing. So from this location, let's head down into the accommodation. Before I do that, I want to show you some different layout options which I saw. So come in and have a look. There's a few different ways you can design the boat. Back in the crew space, that doesn't change. The engine room, the engine space doesn't change. The fuel tanks don't change. From here forward, you have a few options. So this is a walk-in wardrobe. That's a loo and shower, and that's the master full beam berth just there. Then we have, that's not a day head, because remember we have a day head already on the main deck aft. But then we have this twin singles, which can slide and turn into a double, and we have the VIP forward. Now, if we look at this layout, see how this one is 2 toilets and a shower, and then we have similar looking forward. Oops. And then this one is actually, we've done 2 heads there and a head there, and bunks instead. But on the one we're on, I'm not sure if I actually have the layout. This one, you're gonna see in a second, we've got a full beam head and shower with like twin sinks in the master. So it's quite luxurious. So we're going from the polished floor onto the carpet stairs. Nice, solid, actually that's really strong grab hold there. It's gonna be good in a seaway. You come down onto the marble, it's real marble, and then we're still on the timber, but when we move into the master, we're onto some carpet. Before we get there, we do actually have a washer and dryer unit, and boom, so they will slide out. That's a removable piece, so if you ever needed to service or remove the machines themselves, you can. Access into the bilge. Come in here. It's a really lovely setup. Like we still have, I've left some open and some closed. We've got these big stainless steel protectors over the ports. This is the only very thick glass which doesn't have it. So you still can appreciate views on either side, but it does feel like a proper home in here. We've got the big screen TV, we've got hanging lockers, we've got storage, we've got this little lounge here, we've got more hanging lockers, double the width, We got drawers underneath the bed on both sides. And then we have more hanging lockers. This is quite a deep one just in here. As you can see, they're all timber lined. They got the lights and everything. More again, just tucked in here. I'm not opening everything because it'll take me all day if I open them all. I like this for some situational awareness. If you're just having a sleep down here, you can see what the boat's doing. This is marble. This is for the girls. Got the mirror there for the makeup, and can sit on the little thing here. So that's handy. It's useful. And then we've got drawers, drawer cupboards on either side. There's just storage everywhere. Each bedside table has got charging. You've got the light switches for the bedside table lights and the overhead lights, so you don't have to get out of bed. Super nice. The carpet is also quite thick. So look, listen, like there's a lot of, how do I describe this? There's a lot of insulation or padding under the carpet. So it's going to be really sound absorbing, but it's quite comfortable underfoot. We even have more storage under here. So see what I mean? Like you can live on this thing for 12 months and be happy. You're totally sorted. But come in here and look at the shower. It's huge. So we do have natural air ventilation as well, but it's air conditioned space. We don't have a rain head shower, so that might be a drama. So you've just got this shower thing, but I mean, that's first world problems. Access into the bilge. This is what I thought was really nice touch. So we've got his and hers sinks on either side. We've got actually storage inside these vertical pillars, which are mirrored. And then we've got storage all the way underneath, and a mixture of drawers and cupboards. So you can just do all of your long-term toiletries, cleaning gear, etc., can all just stay in there. Where are we going to hang towels? Okay, we've got one. I think, you know what? Maybe a towel rack. A heated towel rack somewhere might be useful in this space. That's if I'm going to complain, that's the only thing. And it's only because it's winter. You never really think about that the rest of the time of year, do you? So let's go forward. Just pointing out so many curves. There's no like sharp edges. Look at this. Look at this. You can bump into this boat as you wish, and you're not going to damage yourself, which is great. That's not the case on so many modern boats these days. So very, very deep storage for long-term travel. Just wanted to point that out. That's great. But we'll go forward to the VIP. So this is the head that is shared by these two cabins, and I think this is a good use of space. Actually, I'll open this door, and then so that's how you would access it throughout the day. And then you can actually come through, because you obviously can see you've got your own stand-up shower. That does have a big opening window. I've just closed the hatch. Proper toilet, vanity, storage behind. But come into this toilet, and then, so if you guys come in, and then this is the door which gives you private access from the VIP. So, because that cabin doesn't have its own private toilet, this one does. We've got walk around island bed. So you can both get out of bed without rolling over the other person. And then you've got charging on either side. We've got air conditioning. We still have 1, 2, 3 natural ventilation options if we wish. An immense amount of head height. You know, you could be a super tall person. Everyone's going to be able to sit up in bed in this boat, but we've got storage behind here. We actually would also have quite a bit of storage and obviously access to the opening port just there, and then hanging lockers, drawers, stereo controls, marble touches. This is actually a shelf in here. I hope you can see that with the flush speakers for the Fusion, which you can control in here and have your own little private party if you wish. And you even have a flat screen it's still got the plastic on it. It's a new boat. It's flush with the timber there. So it's very homely. Big solid door. These door frames have all got rubber tucked around here. So that's going to be good for sound and also vibrations. This thing is so quiet because of, you know, it's 50 tons. Like, it's probably more by the time you loaded it up with fuel. So it's a lot of boat, but the hand-laid fiberglass hull is thick, and you notice that. I drive a lot of boats. when you go to a foam core or a thinner hull and you start to drive it in the ocean, you can, depending on the design of the hull, you might want to then turn the boat into the waves to try and cut them up. This thing, you just drive any direction you want and just let the boat do it. So it's quite a relaxing vessel to run because it doesn't take up too much workload of your mind. So you've got hanging storage here, 2 opening ports there, air conditioning there, more entertainment, fusion, flat screen, 2 proper beds. We've got a bedside table in the middle. We've got storage underneath the beds. But if we just undo this, can you see it's on a slider? Can you see that? So it will turn into a double. And let's just double check if there's a bedside table. And there's a bedside table here too. So yeah, so that's boom, boom. That's good. And lock that. Nice big mirror. More like entertainment. Every single cabin has got a fusion, speakers and a TV, so you can really get out into your own little space and enjoy yourself. So that's kind of cool. And storage in there, that's probably good for storing dry towels and that sort of stuff. And look at the detail up there. Oh, that's nice, I just noticed that. It's nice. That's great. So let's move from here into one of the coolest, I mean, this whole boat's cool, but I just think this crew quarters is awesome. Okay, so I closed this because I wanted you to see how it operates. We have got access out onto the transom, but this marble goes up on a gas strut, and then this just goes like that. You press that button and the whole thing can slide open. So it can be left open or closed, and then you come down these stairs. There's access everywhere. By the way, anything that needs to be accessed from a service perspective, there's a hatch, which is great. But just come on down here. How cool's this? I'm 5'7". I've still got that much space above my head. We've got practical flooring, so it's like a checker plate rubber flooring, but we got good storage, fridge, freezers just here. We've got marble, same again. It still feels like the same quality of the rest of the boat. We've got those same breakfast bar stools with this little design here. Isn't that neat? And then you can sit here. Obviously, you can use this as your dining area. We've got a mixture of access and storage behind here. We still have deep storage in there. This is actually the battery switches, shore power, ship to shore, AC, just in here. So that's logical, obviously, to have it in this location. Boom. Again, no sharp edges anywhere. A proper separate shower, frickin' marble, beautiful air conditioning. How good's that? That's awesome. That's access aft. And look at this, your own head. You are not like drawing the short straw if you're back here. And so I'm right, those opening ports underneath the seat in the cockpit aft are venting into this location. When this door, obviously it's a waterproof door, is open, you will hear an audio alarm at the helm because you don't want this open when you're in the ocean for obvious reasons. I don't know what's under here, so we'll have a look. Oh, cool, more access. Fantastic. That gets us into the hydraulic stern thruster. So that's, oh, I didn't realize that. Isn't that great? Because I saw some other access. I'll show you now. The floors all lift up. I saw some other access just here, which gets us into, okay, so obviously it's got some stores in there at the moment, but that's the retractor for the shore power. We've got some batteries back here. We have the Victron as well, and we can also crawl back and get into the steering gear should we need, which is great. But now let's have a look at the crew accommodation, because this is super neat. Beautiful floor. You just don't feel like you're getting the short, comfortable mattress. Hanging storage inside its own little locker in here. Lockable door, TV. We also have fusion and our own speakers. So same as all the other cabins, we've got full entertainment, air conditioning, charging points, and this berth here is a Pullman berth. So this can be folded up and out of the way if you don't need it, but you can definitely get 2 kids, because this is a beamy single, so it'd be fine for 2 kids or 2 adults, one here, one here, and you still have more storage and the opening ports from the Pullman berth for some natural ventilation. I think this is great. Let's go through this door. So, what's this? Fuel valve, fuel shutoffs. Fuel shutoffs, okay. Didn't realize that was there, that's handy. So, come on in, waterproof door. We're on the rubber checker plate again. So our fuel tanks are forward, just here. Look at the stand, look at the full height headroom and this insulation. I like how it's been done in white with LED lights so we can see, but we've got full access, full walk around access. We'll show you in a second. So we've got the 2 Raycor fuel filters so you can just switch over from one to the other for the main engines. We've got 2 gen sets. So we have our main gen set, which is just over in that location. That's the, I think it's like 27 kVA. But then we also have a 17.5 just in that location on the shelf. And you can see we're on a straight shaft. You can see the straight shafts immediately below the gen set. And all the lighting, both above and below the motors, is awesome. But I'm actually just gonna walk around so you can see and get a feel for, see how I've still pretty much got stand-up headroom. I'm coming over to the starboard side of the boat here. Your engine crank batteries, they are actually 4 200 amp hour engine cranks. So some are in this location. And then we have our house batteries down the back of the boat. There is 10, I think it was 125 amp hour AGMs on this one. And then we've got our ventilation just here. That looks like it. Well, oh yeah, of course. That's one of those emergency releases for a fire, I think. Then we've got, I saw the refrigeration. Oh, that's right. Pass me the camera, I'll show you, because this space gives you full access to the stabilizers. It's a crawl space, but there's plenty of room, so you can get everything you need to, and that's obviously the active fin starboard side. But then we've also got space above each motor to use as a workbench should you need. I'll just point out the Fireboy system on the main bulkhead. We have another crawl space just tucked in there for the other stabilizer. And then I think this was the generator batteries just here. And you've got at least 1 pair of generator batteries, so it's probably for this gen set. And then I would say gen set batteries for that one on the starboard side, because I saw a couple of gen set batteries. But see, you've got your sight gauges, everything's easily laid out, super simple to understand. Oh yeah, and your chilling just here for air conditioning, because this is a Dometic system, so that's going to be doing chilled water, I would say most likely for air conditioning and or refrigeration. We've got some switches for your engine starts and your generators just here, but it's all pretty straightforward, so super neat. If you're an owner-operator, you're not going to struggle moving around and essentially doing your own oil changes on this boat, because you've got all that much space. Coming up next is the sea trial. So if this vessel is of interest to you, please join us. The link will pop up on the screen any minute. Who's best suited to owning a fine vessel like this? Someone with a lot of experience, I think, to be fair, and someone with a real mission in mind, which goes for every boat. But this is the sort of boat you would take around Australia. This is the sort of boat you would do some serious cruising all around the world. So you probably want to be retired or semi-retired or heading in that direction, because you're going to need a lot of free time to enjoy something like this. It's a lot of boat, and you really do probably need to be someone who's had a considerable amount of experience before. Don't be looking at this with zero boating knowledge or experience and thinking you're going to be able to operate something of this caliber just with a little bit of training. I would suggest that's a dumb idea. So just consider where you're at in boat life. And if you really want to get into something like this, you can build a program with your dealer and work with a captain and go through the training and off you go. Because once you're here, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope that was useful in terms of how she performs and what boats we should compare this with in terms of competition. I'm going to touch on that in the next video. And yeah, just do your own research. Don't forget, I'm not doing paid advertorials. I'm not affiliated with any of these brands or dealers. So I'm literally just making these videos for you. So if you find them useful, please go ahead and use them, share them with your mates, but also like and subscribe to the channel, because that's what the factories see and that's what opens doors for me to test more boats for you. And do please jump in the comments and tell me what boat you have now and what boat you're comparing this with, because then I'll take that information and I'll try and test that other boat if I haven't done it already. Love you lots. See you in the next video. I hope that was useful. See you guys.